Today, John Cena is one of the most universally respected names in wrestling. If you ask kids, parents, wrestlers, even people who don't watch WWE anymore, most of them will talk about his loyalty to the company, his insane work ethic, his charity work, and the way he carried WWE on his back when it could have easily fallen apart. But for a long time, John Cena was the most hated wrestler in WWE.
Had him by these ECW his head.
Crowds rained down boos on him in the opening match and in the main event.
There was no salute tonight from John Cena because tonight John Cena is in enemy territory.
Hardcore fans begged for anyone else to get the spotlight. A whole generation of internet fans turned CENA SUCKS into their personality.
Right.
Some people hated him because he was the face of PG WWE. Some hated him because he always won. Some hated him because he felt fake. This is the story of that version of John Cena, the one who walked into arenas as the hand-picked golden boy, and walked out as the most polarizing wrestler in the world. Before he was the clean-cut, never-give-up superhero, John Cena was different.
What's your name, kid?
John Cena.
He was the prototype in OVW, robotic promos, stiff body language, bleach blonde buzz cut. He looked like a wrestling action figure, but nobody in WWE really knew what to do with him. When he debuted on SmackDown against Kurt Angle in 2002 and said,
Ruthless aggression.
He had the fire, he had the look, he had the intensity. But he didn't have a connection. He was just another jacked guy in trunks. Backstage, he was close to being released. He was basically a body on the roster.
They gave it to me on a silver platter. John Cena, ruthless aggression, and I failed. I messed it up.
Then, something small changed everything. On a bus, freestyling with the boys, Cena started rapping, just joking around. Someone in management heard it.
And Stephanie just happened to be in the front of the bus. She was like, would you like to do this on television? I said, absolutely.
And suddenly, this generic babyface had an identity.
I'm gonna make my impression, show Vinnie Mac that I got ruthless aggression.
Chains, jerseys, freestyle disses, and punchlines. He roasted opponents, clowned the crowd, and finally felt like himself. And at first, the fans loved it. He wasn't the corporate poster boy yet. He felt like a guy who broke out of the system and started making fun of it from the inside. But even in this early stage, you can see the seed of what would eventually turn people against him. Because the second WWE realized he was catching fire, they decided he wasn't going to be just a guy. He was going to be the guy. In 2005, Cena won the WWE Championship from JBL at WrestleMania 21. The rapper from the mid-card was now the face of the company, and right away, WWE started sanding off the edges. The raps got shorter, the insults got softer. The chain and padlock slowly disappeared. The jerseys turned into bright colors and brand new merch. John Cena wasn't just a character anymore. He was a walking billboard for WWE's new era. It made sense for business. He was perfect for kids, sponsors, Make-A-Wish, talk shows. But for the hardcore fans who had grown up on Austin flipping off his boss and The Rock roasting everyone in sight, it didn't feel like their guy anymore. The problem wasn't just that John Cena turned into a family-friendly superhero. The problem was that WWE decided he's our top babyface now, and we're not asking your opinion. Even if the crowd turned on him, the booking wouldn't. If you want a single night that symbolizes the hate for John Cena, it's ECW One Night Stand 2006. ECW fans were the most hardcore, most jaded, most anti-WWE crowd on the planet. They didn't want the smiling face of the PG era in their house. And WWE chose that environment for Cena to defend the WWE Championship against Rob Van Dam. From the moment he walked through the curtain, it was chaos. People threw his shirt back at him every time he tried to give it to a fan.
These ECW fans want no
They didn't boo him because he was a villain. They booed him because they didn't buy him. To them, he wasn't a tough guy. He was a corporate logo pretending to be a tough guy. When he finally lost the title, it wasn't just RVD's victory. It was the hardcore fan base celebrating that. For one night, the face of WWE lost in their world. And from that point on, the relationship between Cena and a big part of the audience was broken. He wasn't just a babyface. He was the symbol of everything they thought was wrong with modern WWE. If there's one phrase that defined the peak of hating John Cena, it's this: Super Cena. Over time, he stopped just being the top guy. He became the guy who almost never stayed down, no matter who he faced. Umaga as the undefeated monster. The Great Khali as the unbeatable giant.
Oh my God, Cena! Look at the strength of John Cena!
Edge as the ultimate opportunist.
He did!
Batista as the powerhouse equal.
Batista! And he still did it! Whoa!
Orton as the vicious rival.
I quit! I quit!
You knew the pattern. He'd get beat down. He'd look like he was done. And then, out of nowhere, for casual fans and kids, it was the perfect superhero story. Your hero always finds a way. For older fans and internet fans, it destroyed the one thing wrestling needs to survive: the feeling that anyone can win. When Cena beat monsters, legends, and fan favorites the exact same way, people didn't just get bored, they got angry. It wasn't simply that he won. Wrestlers win all the time. It was that he almost always kicked out at 2.99. His opponents rarely got long-term momentum afterward, and the commentary treated every comeback like the greatest miracle in history, even though it happened every pay-per-view. After a while, fans, who's going to win this main event? And started asking, how is John Cena going to win this one? When wrestling becomes predictable, people lose interest. When wrestling feels rigged around one guy, people get resentful. Cena became the lightning rod for that resentment. If this was the Attitude Era, the hate might have stayed in certain cities. But Cena's peak years as top guy lined up perfectly with the rise of wrestling forums, YouTube clips, early social media, smart fans sharing opinions around the world. And those fans were loud. Suddenly, every choice WWE made with Cena was dissected. He beat Chris Jericho, burying workers. He beat Umaga, killing a fresh monster. He beat Nexus at SummerSlam, ruined the hottest angle in years. He beat Rusev in the middle of his big undefeated push. Of course he did. 5 moves of doom became a meme. People called him Hogan 2.0, but without the edge. It didn't matter that he had good matches. It didn't matter that he worked insane schedules. To a certain slice of fans, he was the human embodiment of forced booking. Even Cena started addressing it in his promos. He'd walk into a hostile arena, smile while half the crowd sang, and the other half screamed.
Let's go, Cena! Cena sucks!
It was clever, it was honest, but it didn't make them like him. If anything, it made them angrier that he could stand in the middle of all that hostility and not break. Here's the twist in all of this. While fans called him Super Cena, wrestlers saw something else. The guy getting booed out of the building every week was quietly becoming one of the most respected people in the locker room. The guy headlining pay-per-views, then flying out to do media at 5 a.m. The guy wrestling through injuries, then taping up and going again. The guy doing more Make-A-Wish appearances than any celebrity ever. The guy who never took time off unless his body gave him no choice. But the fans didn't see the flights. They didn't see the meetings. They didn't see what it's like to be the person the entire company depends on. And in their eyes, he wasn't just winning too much. All they saw was the booking. He was blocking the future. Every time a rising star lost to him in a big moment, the story online was the same. Once again, Cena refuses to step aside. It didn't matter that he didn't write the scripts. It didn't matter that he'd praise his opponents in promos. To many fans, it was simple. If you were across the ring from John Cena, your ceiling was lower. That perception is what made him, for a time, the most hated wrestler in WWE. Not because he was a villain, but because people didn't trust the company to treat anyone else like they mattered as much as him. Something changed in the mid-2000s.
I select Daniel Bryan.
It didn't happen overnight. There wasn't one match where the crowd magically decided they loved John Cena. But slowly, the hate started to feel different. It started with the work. He faced CM Punk in 2011, especially at Money in the Bank in Chicago, and even his loudest critics had to admit, this guy can go. Then he wrestled Daniel Bryan in 2013. He didn't just give Bryan a good match, he let him beat him clean in the middle of the ring at SummerSlam with a bad elbow. When Cena himself could have easily played it safe. Later, he stepped into the ring with a new generation. Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, Sami Zayn. And instead of steamrolling them, he started doing something people never expected from the burial machine. He made them look incredible. The United States Title Open Challenge in 2015 was a turning point.
You want some? Come get some!
Week after week, Cena wrestled long, high-intensity matches on free TV. As the years went on, Cena moved from full-time to part-time. Hollywood came calling. Injuries stacked up. New stars finally did take over. And something happened that always feels weird when it finally arrives. Fans realized they were going to miss him. You saw it in the way crowds reacted when his music hit after long absences. You heard it in the "Thank You Cena" chants that started sneaking into shows. Over 650 plus Make-A-Wish wishes granted, the same guy people said buried talent was now openly talking about wanting to help the next generation, putting guys like Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt, and others over in big moments. And the same fans who once proudly wore CENA SUCKS as a badge of honor started realizing he's not going to be here forever. John Cena was never perfect. He was overprotected. He did win too much. WWE did push him at the expense of others at times. And the backlash he got from older and smarter fans didn't come from nowhere. But underneath the booking decisions and corporate slogans, there was a guy who loved wrestling enough to destroy his body for it, took the weight of the company when there was nobody else to carry it, stayed loyal in eras when it would have been easy to walk away, and learned to lean into the hate, not run from it. For years, John Cena walked into buildings around the world and got booed out of the building. Then walked straight to an airport, slept on a plane, and went to do press as the smiling face of WWE anyway. He was the hero millions of kids adored, and the villain millions of older fans couldn't stand. And somewhere in that tug of war between love and hate, he became something rare. A wrestling icon you can't ever fully define with one word. Not just a babyface, not just a company man, not just Super Cena. He was the man fans loved to hate, until one day they just quietly realized they loved him too. But that still leaves one uncomfortable question. How many careers got crushed along the way? Because for every child wearing never give up wristbands, there was a wrestler on the other side of the ring, watching their big push vanish with one AA and a 3 count. If you want to see the darker side of that legacy, from rising stars to veterans who never recovered, click over to our next video where we break down the WWE wrestlers who were buried by John Cena.